Well, I don't know about the work of the devil. Jung's criticism of Christianity was that it had not made a place for what he called the shadow, and he said the production of Christian culture will always be neurotic because the shadow has not been included, so there's a lack of psychic balance. Perhaps the UFO carries compensatory psychic energy from the realm of the shadow. Some people are very frightened of it. Some people see it as an almost millenarian salvational hope, the savior of mankind. I think that it's very powerful, that it haunts time like a ghost, that the messianic anticipations of fundamentalist Christianity and Islam are in fact a picking up on the shockwave that the image of the flying saucer casts backward through time, that this image of the New Jerusalem, the four-gated city descending from the sky to whisk the elect away to a better place, is a kind of prophecy yearning toward a fact in the act of becoming. You know, Christianity and Islam are the most history-obsessed of all the world's major religions. Along with Judaism. And all three of them have this notion of the transcendental object at the end of time. And alchemy in the 16th century was an outbreak of an expectation of a transcendental object in the nearby here and now.
The omega point of history.
Yes, that would cure all ills, confer longevity, fertility, virility, immortality. And I think that the flying saucer is an airborne philosopher's stone, the Sophic hydrolith of Paracelsus haunting the skies of modern America with a promise of mandalic cohesion for the future that science has not given us. Science has been a very sadly disappointing religion in the realm of the heart. The flying saucer comes from the heart, but it bears the very strange energy of the other in its manifestation as planetary goddess.
I'm often struck by the psychic powers that seem to be associated with people who have had intensive encounters with UFOs.
That's right. The thing is,
researched many of these cases myself.
It's both material and psychological. It anticipates the future. It seems as the memories of the contactees are transparent to this force. It can reach deep into their lives and confront them with information taken from forgotten incidents in their lives. It is an awesome kind of force that transcends space and time for the individual. Now, it may be that we will never have a general theory of flying saucers. It may be that this is something that addresses the individual in the same way that I don't think we will ever have a general theory of falling in love. That, too, is something which addresses the individual. We have been mistaken to expect Time magazine or the New York Times to explain the flying saucers to us. They will not explain the flying saucers to us any more than they will explain ourselves to us. This is something that haunts the membrane of experience very close in to the experiencing ego, and therefore it is threatening. This is one of the reasons that I think it relates to the psychedelic experience, because the psychedelic experience is like a UFO encounter on demand, where the will of the person having the experience enters in. They decide to have this curious, symmetry-breaking kind of experience. What I have tried to say to the UFO community is that we will not really have a deep understanding of what the contact experience is until we include data from the psychedelic experience as a legitimate data to be included when looking at the problem.
Well, you had talked earlier about our need to make an extensive survey of all of the biological manifestations on our planet. It almost seems that in order to really get a handle on UFO phenomena, we need to make a comparable survey of all of the psychological manifestations of which we are aware. And it seems to me that it's some level, you would agree with me that the UFO phenomenon is one of our psychological manifestations.
Yes, I agree.
We've got about 2 minutes left, so if we can sort of summarize your view in that regard.
Yes, I think that the UFO phenomenon is a modern manifestation of a phenomenon which has been with us for thousands of years. That is the partial penetration of our own cultural space by others. Pixies, elves, fairies, sprites, demons, whatever you wish to call them. Angels. In the past, we had a professional class for dealing with these go-betweens. We called the professional class shamans, and they mitigated these comings and goings and had a lore and a mythology about them. As we have lost contact with our shamanic roots, the things which go on at a low frequency out in the wilderness and deserts of this planet have seem like us, either like invasions from another world or virtual impossibilities. I think that the flying saucer is knocking on our door to remind us of the depth and strangeness and animate intelligence that is resident with us in nature on this planet.
Terence McKenna, it's been a very eloquent presentation, extremely thought-provoking. Thank you very much for being with me.
It's always a pleasure to talk with you.
And thank you very much for being with us.
An urge to hold on, cling to life, to continue to survive. I can see rationally that by clinging to myself I may strangle myself. I may be like a person who has a bad habit, as a result of which he is committing suicide. And he knows that, but can't pick it up. Because the means of death are so small. So it all comes down to this basic question. The human beings have for a long, long time been concerned about transforming their minds. Is there any way in which one's mind can be transformed? Or is it simply a process which is nothing more than a vicious circle? I could ask, why have you come here this afternoon? What are you looking for? Would it be too presumptuous of me to say that you're looking for help? That you hope to hear somebody who has something to say would be of help and relevance to you as members of a world which is running most intensely. The world is set by a complex of problems, any one of which would be bad enough. But when you add together all the great political, social and ecological problems with which we are faced, they are appalling. And one naturally says, the reason why we are in such a mess is not simply that we have wrong systems for doing things, whether they be technological, political or religious, but we have the wrong people. The systems may be all right, but they are in the wrong hands because we are all, in various ways, self-seeking, lacking in wisdom, lacking in courage, afraid of death, afraid of pain, unwilling really to cooperate with others, unwilling to be open to others. We all think that's too bad. It's me that's right. And it's only I could be the right person. Is this man going to tell me something that will help me change myself so that I will be a more creative and cooperative member? I would like to communicate. So in so many people's minds, and from so many different angles, there is this urgent feeling that I must improve me. And this is critically important, because it's obvious that the way things are, we are going to hell fast. Now in this question, can I improve me?
The algorithm learns your